known for its breathtaking natural diversity, human creativity, and freedom of thought. America's West Coast has long represented a dream destination to travelers and immigrants. We embark on a search to uncover traces of the West Coast's secrets of success and magical appeal. We will meet the people who embody the energy and life that characterize the West Coast. Our unique journey will take us through the different states of the American West Coast, from the Canadian border all the way to Mexico. Today we discover the fascinating world of the state of Oregon. The west coast of the state of Oregon is famed for its long and untouched beaches. Just outside the town of Florence, a unique mixture of sand dunes, forests, and lakes are found, all right next to the Pacific Ocean. The huge dune mountains now provide the scene for the latest sporting trend, sandboarding, a mixture of snowboarding and surfing on sand. Matt Walton gives every free minute to this favorite pastime. Today, Matt has organized a small competition for the local sandboarding scene. The fastest and most skilled sandboarders are identified by series of runs.
Everybody, I think it's time. I think we're actually going to start the real runs now. Remember that everybody gets 4 runs, and you're trying to get the highest speed possible. That's it. Drop!
The top speed of each contestant is measured at the foot of the dune.
25.7. We wax the board every time because without the wax, the boards don't slide. So we have a very slick, hard, heat-resistant base, but it's still not enough to get us to slide down the dunes. We're cheating physics by sliding down sand anyway, so we need something to go on there, give us some lubrication to get it moving.
Sandboarding was invented more than 20 years ago in the dunes of the Mojave Desert in Southern California.
26.4.
This fringe sport has gained popularity over the last few years due to improvements in boards and wax, enabling greater speed.
36.7.
Anybody can participate in today's competition. Above all, Matt and his friends want to have fun sandboarding. To them, who wins is of minor importance.
Sandboarding is fascinating for a lot of reasons. One of many is the diversity of the landscapes that we get to go play in. Here we are at Honeyman State Park on the Oregon coast, and we're right on a lake, which is in a forest, but we're riding down a sand dune. At the top of the dunes, you can see the oceans, the mountains, the trees, the lakes, and you're surrounded by such natural beauty that just being here alone is an astonishing experience. But when you combine that with sliding really fast down a sand dune, it's a very unique and thrilling activity.
The second discipline is slalom. In slalom, both the runner's skills and speed are rated.
I landed right on my black spot. Oh.
The top runner is Matt, who has been sandboarding regularly in Oregon for the last 5 years.
Most of the Oregon coast sand is very fine, very clean, and that's what we look for when we're sliding down a hill. Some sand is so slow that you can't even get the board to slide, whereas most of the stuff that we're dealing with is very fast and very smooth.
For Matt and his friends, the downhill run straight to the Pacific Ocean is the highlight of the day.
Sandboarding definitely has a West Coast feel to it. It's laid back, but there's an extreme side to it too. And you can find your niche in it whether you just want to slide down on your butt or you want to do backflips on a jump. So like I was saying before, there's room for everybody. That's the beauty of it. We have kids as young as 4 years old come in and sandboard, have a great time, and then there's people in their 80s that sandboard because it's a very low impact sport as well. It encourages anyone to come out and try it.
Oregon's shoreline became public property in 1913. Access to the sea is assured, and building almost anywhere outside of the towns is prohibited, leaving large parts of the coast untouched. Tectonic plates meet beneath the seabed in the Pacific Northwest. Their activity creates earthquakes and tsunamis. The last tsunami in Oregon hit the coast town of Seaside over 40 years ago. Tom Horning is a geologist and has investigated the dangers tsunamis pose to the Oregon coast for many years.
Okay, as far as that goes, we should be able to.
Tom is able to illustrate former tsunamis with the soil samples he collects along a small river delta near the Pacific.
There we go. We have split open this core, and it has several layers of sand in it that were deposited by tsunamis, and it records from bottom to top, the oldest to youngest. This sand layer was deposited by a tsunami from about 800 years ago. We know this based on the rate of sedimentation and on the carbon dating of wood fragments underneath it and above it. Farther down we have another sand layer, slightly thicker. It looks like it has a couple of pulses here. So there was a smaller wave followed by a larger wave. This correlates with a much larger tsunami from 1100 years ago. And we also know that there's a change in sediment style that indicates that the land dropped vertically during the earthquake. And that's a clue that this is a locally generated tsunami and not one from across the Pacific Ocean.
Tom lives in Seaside, close to the now abandoned house he grew up in. His property stands only a few hundred meters from the coast.
This old building was my bedroom in 1964 when the tsunami came in. My brother and I slept through the whole thing. The water was about 4 feet deep outside the building. We're fortunate it didn't wash away. The property was surrounded with logs, driftwood logs, at least 5 feet in diameter, left about a foot of sand on the ground, buried the lawn, drowned a few animals, and washed our car away. The property went transformed from a lawn to a beach with driftwood and shrimp and worms and fish and foam and sticks and detritus of all kinds. The neighborhood was totally transformed by the tsunami. We were lucky to live through it. So the 1964 tsunami made me sensitive to the danger of tsunamis and damage from earthquakes, and I became a geologist for many reasons, but this is one of the purposes that I found for myself. As I moved back to this town, I realized with our discovery that Cascadia is seismically active and capable of producing giant tsunamis, that this community had to be prepared.
With its famous Haystack Rock, Cannon Beach is one of the most beautiful coastal areas of Oregon. Due to its popularity, an increasing number of holiday homes have been built directly at the beach in the last few years. Nobody here wants to hear about tsunami risks, but since the Fukushima disaster, it has become clear just how dangerous tsunamis can be.
Most of the coastal communities of Oregon are like Cannon Beach, which is behind me. As you can see, we have large sand dunes next to the ocean, and behind these are houses. When the earthquake happens, the tsunami will come in about 20 minutes later. It'll be from 15 to 35 meters in height. It will sweep over most of the community, over the buildings, and all the way to the back to the mountains. If people aren't prepared, they will be drowned or crushed by houses being washed away. We have about 10 or 20 years probably before the next earthquake strikes, so it's important that we have everybody trained, well-educated, and evacuation routes prepared so that we can save as many lives as possible.
Tom is convinced of his predictions and wants to ensure that towns like Cannon Beach are prepared for a tsunami. It is crucial that everyone knows how to react in the event of a tsunami being detected by the early warning systems.
We've created tsunami evacuation signs for the Oregon coast, and this is an example of one for Cannon Beach. We have evacuation areas indicated, and we tell them to walk, not to take their cars, because there will be traffic jams. People have to be ready to walk. It should only take them a few minutes to safety if they plan accordingly.
It is certain that earthquakes will instigate tsunamis at the coast of Oregon in the future, but nobody can be certain of the time or the consequences. Nature's extremes and the incredible diversity of the landscape have created a special art of living here, West Coast style. Here, people are repeatedly made to push their own boundaries. The numerous outdoor leisure time activities available here form an integral part of the life of each individual at the West Coast. The people who live here make extensive use of nature. The great popularity of various outdoor activities has led to a large number of textile companies paying extensive attention to this trend. Several well-known manufacturers of sports equipment, including Nike and Adidas, have their American headquarters in Portland, Oregon's biggest city. At Columbia Sportswear, people work tirelessly to develop the best and most comfortable outdoor clothes. The president of the company, Tim Boyle, is responsible for the strategic focus.
There are not very many places in the world where you could go surfing in the morning, play golf at noon, and then go skiing in the afternoon. And that's this area. So it has this special attraction for people who like to do things outdoors. And so our business is about creating apparel and footwear that can make people's time outside more comfortable.
The family enterprise has Jewish roots. Tim Boyle's mother, Gertrude, was born in Germany and fled from the Nazis to America at the age of 13.
My parents and my two sisters and I immigrated from Germany in 1937. In 1938, my father bought a hat company.
Gertrude's father had experience in the clothing industry. Prior to their escape to America, he owned a textile enterprise in Augsburg, Germany. The hats were selling well, and the company was growing.
I met this very nice man in college, and I married him, and my father offered him a job. You know, it's a family business.
My dad started to branch out doing other kinds of products, and really the products that we chose to start manufacturing and designing were things that reflected the outdoors, and that started our business growing.
Columbia Sportswear remained without leadership when Gertrude's father died prematurely in 1970. In addition to this, sales stagnated, and new products were lacking. The family business was facing bankruptcy. Gertrude saw herself with no other option but to sell the business.
We found this person. He said, I will buy the company, but I don't want your whole zipper inventory. And you have the SBA loan. You carry the SBA loan. And I'll give you $1,400 for what all you have. So for $1,400, I told him, you know what? I'll run in the ground by myself.
Under her leadership, Gertrude single-handedly led Columbia Sportswear to become one of the leading sportswear companies worldwide.
The fact that women are in business and the fact that women are in business with their families is actually quite unique. So motherhood being universal, and the fact that we have this unusual relationship between my mother and myself has been, again, a differentiator.
Mother Boyle and son Tim demonstrate their Columbia Parka's radial sleeves and zip-out liner.
The commercial that gets the most laughs is the one where I push her off a cliff, and so that's always funny, and I kind of like that.
The commercials starring mother and son enjoy real cult status on the West Coast. In these spots, Gertrude forces her son to test their products himself.
It was a little tough initially to handle because, you know, my mom always comes off as the good, tough person, and I'm the compliant foil, but that's okay. If it works and makes the company differentiated and successful, I'm okay with it.
The Columbia interchange system adapts to any outdoor situation.
That's maybe typical of people in the West, that they really focus on, you know, having a good time, building something, and if it becomes financially rewarding, even better.
Every year in autumn, southern Oregon near Crater Lake transforms into a paradise for mushroom hunters. The world's most expensive edible mushroom grows in Oregon, the matsutake. This mushroom is a real delicacy in Japan, while largely unknown in America and Europe. Once a year, this wild ivory mushroom creates a sort of gold rush in Oregon, which hundreds of predominantly Asian mushroom pickers succumb to. They are drawn by the call of the white gold and the stories of pickers who made a fortune from the mushroom in only a few weeks. A traditional delicacy, the matsutake has a market value in Japan of several hundred euros per kilo. Like others, Khoi Lok, born in Cambodia, and his wife Karnika are not able to resist the matsutake's allure. Khoi is a professional mushroom picker and has been traveling to Oregon for matsutake season for over 10 years. Khoi searches the dry forest soil with a trained eye. Then, finally, the first matsutake.
Oh, here's one. You can see how hard to find the mushroom that is, because the mushroom is growing under the duff and the duff cover it. If you don't know how to look for it, you couldn't find it. You couldn't be able to find it because it's staying under the duff.
The world-renowned Crater Lake is all that remains of the volcano Mount Mazama. It exploded 7,000 years ago in a gigantic eruption. Today, Crater Lake is filled with rain and meltwater. With a depth of 600 meters, it is the USA's deepest lake. Since then, the dome of Mount Mazama has begun to grow again. The small island is the peak of the reborn volcano. The enormous eruption of Mount Mazama covered the landscape with meters of ash and pumice. The volcanic soil of the softwood forest contain ash and today are ideal for the growth of the matsutake. But it is very difficult to find the mushroom in these wide soft woods, which grow almost 2,000 meters above sea level. Khoi and his wife Karnika walk up the 15 kilometers a day through the mountainous forests of Oregon. But so far, the yield is very poor.
Oh, here's another one. This is pretty nice. I found two of them. Number one, I learned about mushroom in the Cambodian Thai border forest. I fought against the Khmer Rouge and Vietnamese, and that's when I learned, because I fought against them 3 years. I stay in the jungle only, in the forest only, and have nothing to eat but pick mushroom and eat as regular food. And back then I stepped on a mine land and I lost my leg. I'm wearing the artificial leg. And then I got some treatment from the US, and then I got sponsored to the United States. After that, I heard about matsutake, and I really love mushrooms, so I got to come here and harvest matsutake.
A long day is coming to an end. Khoi and Karnika make their way back to their car.
This is what we find today. We found about 1¼ pound today. According to the bad season, it's not really bad, but obviously it's not good enough for me to make a living because of the gas price so high. We maybe sell tonight, probably make about $50, and gas about close even to 50 maybe, yeah.
Chumult, a small town in Oregon's remote south, along the busy Highway 97. For most of the year, this typical American town, located just off the highway, is a well-frequented truck stop at best. Just once a year, everything changes in Chumult. The mushroom picker camp is located at the town exit. Chumult citizens are never spotted here. Two parallel worlds that have nothing to do with each other exist in close spatial proximity. It's evening. An aroma of coriander and chicken stock is in the air. At nightfall, the residents retreat to their tent camps, including Khoi and his wife.
I think everybody kind of like it because in the meantime, it's a sense of you are on vacation, but at the same time, you're making money. It is a very fun and enjoyable harvesting season, even though we have something like this, not like a nice house, but still it is keep us warm, keep us sleep well at night, keep the animal away, keep the mosquito away, the bugs away, and it is good. We enjoy it. Yes, we really like it, even though it's hard, but we like it.
Altogether, the mushroom season lasts almost 2 months. Mushroom picking truly is searching for a needle in a haystack. Every day, Coy and Karnika search a different area. Coy has spotted a slight elevation on the dry forest ground.
Wow.
Underneath the needles, there are 2 small matsutake in the ground. The matsutakes are especially valuable if they are still fully preserved, looking like closed umbrellas beneath the soil at the time of picking. As soon as a matsutake is opened at the surface, it can only reach a low price.
When you find one, you should find 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. This is a patch. Okay. Here's another one. Oh, it has a baby too. Let me see. To come out here, pick mushroom, it's just like a dream for sure. We always dream on the day that we pick good. Maybe like last year I picked, I make $800 a day for 10 days straight. And it's always a dream inside my mind saying, oh, I did good last year. Hopefully next year I can do that again. We always have this dream that I'm going to do good.
Running directly along the Pacific, the famous Highway 1 is probably the most spectacular coastal road on Earth. The coast of Oregon, with its great variety of landscapes, including bold cliffs, long beaches, and forests, which reach all the way to the ocean, is ideal for a trip with your own camper van. Camping is a deep-seated tradition in Oregon, so it is hardly surprising that the world's most luxurious camper van comes from Oregon. The company Marathon has converted coach chassis to the most upmarket camper vans worldwide since 1983. The vehicles combine the luxury of a house with the mobility of a car, in a very typical American way. There are around 2,000 of these enormous luxury camper vans across the USA. For Europe, they seem rather unsuitable due to their sheer size. The camper vans are produced in Eugene. The special thing about this manufacturing facility is that all the different manufacturing steps are carried out under one roof. Each camper van is individually designed and handmade. Alan Christensen is responsible for ensuring that everything goes according to plan.
This is a brand new coach that we just are starting, and you can see it's not very far into it. We just basically pulled it in. As you can see, the inside, it's basically 8 feet wide. We've got to fit all the customer's requirements in this box. It's a lot of tough engineering to make everything or all the requirements work in this confined area.
Alan is not only the chief designer at Marathon, but he is also constantly supervising the various production stages. More than 10 kilometers of electric cables are employed in the design of one camper van. The floors can either be tiled or laid in wood parquet.
I'm all about creating, and I love creating something that hasn't been done, figuring it out, and once it's done, I'm ready to move on. So that's where for me, it's the satisfaction of always discovering or creating something new. I love that, and I always have. I kind of grew up doing that, and I'm driven by that.
It takes approximately 3 months to fully custom build a camper van. The fridge has to be delivered through the side window. A new fully converted bus costs between $2 and $3 million.
Here we have a completed 45-foot chassis. Before we go inside, I just wanted to show you, here's a 40-inch LCD TV screen out here. A lot of the clients like to have a patio area and sit outside and enjoy the outside ambiance too, so you can sit and watch your TV. This is a brand new coach awaiting delivery to its new owners, and it's pretty interesting. They're a retired elderly couple, and she's a writer and he is a photographer, and they do travel books. Actually, their first trip is down the West Coast, and they're going to be stopping at various places, taking pictures and writing on each location. So it's an ideal mode of transportation for them, and they live in it. And you really couldn't find a better way to advance your hobby or occupation in that regard. As we step into the galley, again, you'll see warm, neutral colors, very, very accommodating. You'll see a large double bowl sink underneath, and we also put in lids flush, and you're only using a small portion or none at all. So it really is good for entertaining and a lot of countertop space. We have a dishwasher that's down below, tucked away. It's a dish drawer. A double door Amana refrigerator, 25 cubic feet. Over here you have a Gaggenau stovetop, again with the lid to give you added countertop space when the stovetop isn't working. Convection microwave over the top. This coach is really equipped to live on and be on the road for quite a while. Coming in the center of the coach, you can see a full-size shower, nice and big in there. You got a vanity right behind it. All the pocket doors are automatic, and another feature or amenity in this coach is the stack washer and dryer, which is again very, very nice for being on the road for a long time. Plenty of wardrobe area. Queen size bed, window behind it. Again, it's very, very accommodating. I think you really get down to the heart of our owners, and they're all just adventurers or campers. They just have enough money to be able to afford it, to do it in a very nice style. But their heart is still the adventurous spirit. They love meeting new people, seeing new things. And these coaches obviously give you an opportunity to go anywhere and wake up every day in a new environment.
The advantages of a luxury camper in comfortably exploring the West Coast are obvious. but only a few are able to afford this pleasure. Upcountry, the state of Oregon is sparsely populated and covered in spacious softwood forests. The Deschutes National Forest is among the largest connected forests at a stretch in the Pacific Northwest. Many of these forests are commercial timberland. The timber industry is still Oregon's most important economic sector. The greatest threat is forest fires. They break out regularly during the summer and destroy vast areas. Distributed across the entire state of Oregon, fire detection towers have been set up in order to locate fires quickly. Every summer from May to October, a member of staff from the Forest Authority is put in charge of each of the 90 detection stations. Jim Shotwell works on a 70-year-old wooden tower at the Deschutes National Forest. The fire lookout has spent each summer since 1982 without interruption, alone at the top of the fire detection tower, keeping an eye out for smoke and flames. This makes him the longest-serving part-time employee of the Forest Authority in all of the USA. During the fire season, Jim's home is a glassed 25 square meter room, 40 meters high, and with an incredible far-reaching view.
As a lookout, I'm sort of the eyes of the forest. Watch for forest fires all day long. Watching for fires, most anybody can do that. It's fairly easy. You just look out to the woods, and if you can tell the difference between smoke and dust, you can pick out a fire. Plotting them is a little harder, and doing that over a long period of time gets a little more difficult. If you go for days or weeks without finding a fire, it's like looking at a 1,000-piece puzzle and not finding anything that fits. It's hard after a while to keep that up. So that's one of the difficult parts for me, is watching when there's nothing to see. The firefinder is basically a compass, like a handheld compass. It's much larger. The lookout is right in the middle of it. And when I see a smoke, I'll take an azimuth like you do with a compass, and I'll take a vertical angle off of this tilt scope that's part of the DragonPlot software that we're using now to plot fires.
In his tower, Jim has electricity and internet access. He has a special computer program in which you can enter the calculated coordinates of a fire in order to pinpoint it precisely before passing on the location. The biggest challenge for every fire lookout is loneliness. None of his colleagues manage to last in the job for a period that even begins to compare with Jim's. Many have become addicted to alcohol or drugs. Constantly looking out for the suspicious pall of smoke requires incredible discipline. Jim likes it.
I think it's a bit of a romantic job. I'm a romantic at heart. I like to be romanced, and it's a nice, quiet place that you can think your own thoughts and not someone else's. I do really well reading a lot, so I've seldom been bored. When I was younger, I didn't understand what to do with time, and now I don't have enough time left to be bored. I enjoy the solitude. When I was a child, my mother wrote in my baby book, "Jim plays well by himself." So that's continued into adulthood. I also enjoy company of other people, but I could go a long period of time without seeing anybody and be quite happy about it, with the exception possibly of my wife. And she would prefer that I was home more often.
Jim leaves his watchtower once a day to fetch water from the cistern. Next to the water hole, there is a sanitary area with a shower hut. Jim records temperature and humidity in his small weather station while the canister is filling. Officially, Jim is not allowed to leave the tower for more than 15 minutes during working hours. Every 2 weeks, he gets a weekend off and can stock up on supplies for both the body and the mind in the civilized world.
The view, it's always changing with the weather, with the seasons. Nothing ever stays the same in nature. It's always a work in progress.
Over the years, Jim has captured all kinds of weather situations with his photo camera. The Forest Authority plans to install surveillance cameras on every fire detection tower to locate fires via video detection. In the long run, this will save money, but Jim will certainly not resign by choice. And join us next time to discover the fascinating world of Northern California on the American West Coast.